sick. The back of the Kyoot. Yeah, if you can't tell, I'm a little sick. I was kind of sick all of last week. I want to get this bike done so I can ride it. We're in the shop, and we're gonna put pretty much everything else on if time allows it. Might split the video up into two parts this week, maybe a Monday and a Friday upload, we'll see. Let's just check out the parts I chose out. I've already got the rival derailleur on the bike. I've got a 10-speed EXO shifter that I think will pair with it just fine. And then I've got two different 10-speed cassettes that I had kicking around. I'm not sure what the range is on the derailleur, so one of those twos will work. And then I'm also using these old BMX cranks, AC Chromo. They're 165s, which is pretty rad. That's my favorite crank length. And they're 110 BCD Spider on it, which is pretty dope. So I have this 110 SRAM narrow wide 42 tooth chainring on there. That should look pretty good. I originally wanted to get a Stritzlin, but he was out of black. And I'm also very low on funds right now. So we're gonna save a little bit of money that was in my parts bin. I've got the spindle that I think should work for those cranks, along with a Odyssey Euro bottom bracket conversion. So you put a BMX bottom bracket in a Euro threaded bottom bracket shell in the bike. And then I've got some bolts to go on the end. And then some BB7s, which good old classic BB7s, they work, you know, they work well enough. I was going to put some hydraulic brakes on it, but these are in my parts bin, and I'd like to spend as little money as possible right now because I don't have much money. So I think the first thing I'd like to do is put the crankset on, and then we could figure out the drivetrain, this derailleur's capacity, and have that all working. Then we'll set up shifting. So let's get into that first. I already know this is going to be a fiddly process with the bottom bracket conversion. They're never perfect. You can always like get them to be good, but they're never you know, the easiest thing to set up because you're swapping between whatever spacing, and you know, there's a million different things that could be wrong. I think looks pretty good. I think I just shot that whole thing off camera, so I'll cut it if I did. Oh well. Yeah, that looks pretty rad. So now spindle, BMX stuff. I think this is a 48 spline spindle. Goes in there like that. The other thing that I didn't actually check yet is if, whoa, dropping shit left and right. Oh no. If these are even the right bolts, which I'm really hoping they are. Oh, yeah. Okay, cool. So I like to do, put the drive side on. We'll grease everything. Stick the drive side all the way down, and then that lets you find the spindle length overall. And then you change the spacers in this kit, some different spacers in there to figure out the length, the width of the bottom bracket. I'm trying really hard. I've got sick brain, so you know. A little bit of grease, not a ton. You don't need a ton. Pop it on there. And this already has some Loctite on it, so no grease. I don't know why it tightened down like that. It didn't. Let's try that again. Maybe it's in crooked. All right, that's in there somewhat. Bottom bracket in the bike. Obviously, we've got a brand new bottom bracket shell, so I didn't need to worry about cleaning it out too much or anything like that. It's fresh from the factory, so stick some grease in there, both sides. And then we're getting our bottom bracket shells. You want to make sure the spindle width, diameter is the same. So this is a 19 mil spindle and a 19 mil bottom bracket. So we got the two bottom bracket cups. I always put the wrong one on. And then I still don't understand why BMX bikes use these two flats on their bottom brackets instead of just like a standard tool. So I'm going to be sitting here for a while putting, oh, this should be the right one. Am I screwing it in the wrong way? Am I that far gone today? I think I'm going to chase it with a regular bottom bracket real quick. All right, so I put a standard square taper bottom bracket in it. And it verified a few things. One, I'm not crazy. I know how to put a bottom bracket in. Rotates this way. Two, the shell in this bike is incredibly smooth. There's no issues with that. And three, these bottom brackets suck. I've used them in so many different bikes. My dirt jumper has it on there. I've done a couple other old 90s bikes with, not this is an old 90s bike, but a couple other like BMX crank conversions on bikes. I don't know what it is. These just always seem to go in bad. So I'm going to install it off camera and struggle on my own. And then we'll just hop back when it's installed. Alrighty. Not sure what the problem was. I went and grabbed another frame that didn't have a bottom bracket in it, put the bottom bracket in, that went in smooth, put the other bottom bracket back in the bike, that went in smooth this way, and then I just put it in and it just went in. I don't know. I don't know what I was doing wrong, but whatever. Here's a spindle. It goes in like this. You just push it through. Pretty simple. And then you got your, this. There's two different spacers you can use. There's two different chin spacers. I know I'm going to need both of them. I want this to sit as close to the frame as possible, so I'm going to use that on the drive side. And the idea is that this takes up the rest of the space. I might end up needing more spacers, but we'll find out here shortly. I'm going to put these on there. I'm going to put a little bit of grease on them so they hold. Okay, grease all the surfaces, All right, I'm going to put some grease on the spindle. Just going to pop that all the way through. Now we're going to grab some more grease and move on to the other side. Got some more grease on there. Again, don't need a ton. I got all the spacers that came with the bottom bracket on here. Line those up. Something's telling me that this all doesn't want to play too nicely together. I might need to change the way that these bolts go in without these bolt spacers, but we'll see. Well, if I wasn't wrong, That's perfect. They don't rock. They're tight. The chain line actually looks pretty good. We'll find out when we install everything, but cool. And that is a pretty big chain ring for a little bike, but I think it looks damn good on there, actually. Cassette chain. Let's see how it goes. I got a comment on the last video, and I'm not going to call this person out. I just want to spread awareness to this issue, that he really liked the bike, and he was thinking about buying one of them off of McCarty or Bikes Online or Bikes Direct or whatever it was. And as someone who works in the bike industry, I need to put this out there that I know there's a lot of YouTubers that you might watch, some that I watch, who are sponsored by online bicycle retailers. This goes for literally any online bicycle retailer. Do not buy from them. They ruin your local bike shops. They're destroying the bike industry for everybody. I'm very strongly worried about this. If you want to buy a bike, even like this one, Kyoot is a small company. Order straight from them. It might be slightly more expensive, but in 5 years when you need something, that company will still be around, and most online companies will not. It's the same thing with like buying e-bikes. Don't buy the cheapest one you can find on Amazon. Go into your local bike shop and buy something that people know how to work on. This is just like a major problem that I'm seeing. And it kind of bums me out that there are YouTubers who support these online bike companies. I'm not calling anyone out directly. I respect a lot of people in the space. But do not go and purchase a cheaper version of a bike that you can possibly get locally. For instance, this Kyoot, I know that they have dealers worldwide. And if you were to come into Road 34 and ask for one of these, I would be more than happy to get one on order and built up for you. Don't buy bikes online. That's what I'm trying to say. Oh, I need a chin spacer. Whoops. Yeah, that rant wasn't, it's not directed towards anybody. I'm only trying to educate. If you're a mountain biker as well, like me, don't buy from companies like Canyon, Commensal, YT, any of the online brands. It really puts your local bike shop in a pinch, especially if your local bike shop sells bikes. It really just eats into everybody's profits, and we've seen a lot of bike shops close because they can't match the prices that are online. And I do want to throw the caveat that, like, I understand when someone is trying to get into bikes or get into mountain biking or get into really any sport that's expensive. You want to get the most bang for your buck, and I understand that. But in the long term, if you need something like mechanical help and your local bike shop isn't there, it's going to be a lot worse for everybody than you saved $800 on a new bike, you know? Oh, I think this could fit a way larger cassette. That would be nice, actually, if I could. Let me see what I got. Currently, this is the largest cassette I have access to, so I'm going to leave it on there for the time being. Get these limits set, though. And then we'll throw a chain on it. It's actually pretty perfect. Could maybe pull some B tension out, would help with the incredible gap. Cool. Chain time. 42-28. That's a gear ratio, man. That is a gear ratio. All right. See how many links I'm going to have to cut here. I'm hoping none. But you know. You never really know. This is a small bike and a small derailleur, so maybe a few. Yeah. At least one link. I'll start with one. Let's try that out. And I might leave the chain a hair long in case I do go up a size cassette. Let's just see. I could definitely take a lot more out. I think a 30 or a 32 cassette would be probably the size I'm looking for. Could definitely get a lot more. I'm not used to having this small of a drivetrain. I guess I could just keep cutting links, but it works. So let's do the shifter, make that work, and then we'll worry about the brakes. Yeah, I'm pretty stoked about this bike. Like this whole people wanting to send me things is weird still. Absolutely not used to that. But I do really appreciate that they want to support what I do. And, you know, there's not much more than that, you know, it's just, I appreciate it. It's cool. This is one of the best shifters ever made, by the way. Click shifters, at least. I think they still sell them. You know, I don't know why I'm doing this. I'm going to toss these brake levers on it anyways, so might as well do that at the same time. These are Avid BB7s. No, speed dial 7s. They match the BB7s. That's what I'm trying to say. Avid levers on. Pro tip, if you're OCD like me, you can use your Allen key to measure how far away your brake levers are and how far away your shifter slash dropper or front shifter is from the grip, as long as you make sure they're all the way pushed down. You can also do it from the bar end or the end of the bar if you want it really even. So this derailleur, I've used it before. It has this like SRAM ultra slick cabling on it, and I wasn't sure if it was going to be enough and it seems like it's probably not going to be. So we have to swap out this cable and then put new cable in it. And then, yeah, the only thing that I forgot about was the brake rotors. I did order brake rotors, but the thing is that one of them is here. SRAM HS2. Love these brakes, brake rotors. They make everything feel more powerful, but the other one isn't. So hopefully it shows up while I'm filming. If not, this is definitely going to be a two-parter this week. Let's get a new cable in here. So I figured while I'm doing it, I might as well show you how. Most of these nicer SRAMs have the internal cable, so all their 12-speed stuff's going to have this, and then their nicer stuff. So you take the top plate off, it's a 3 mil, grab some kind of pick, and you're going to wiggle this guy free out of his little cage here. There we go. And then you do the opposite thing, going back in. Grab your fresh cable. You're going to put it right through the same hole that old cable came out of. Pull it through. You want that thing to snap in there. Cool. And then you pop the top cover back on. It's that simple. New cable. So now we're going to cable the derailleur through the whole frame. This is a little bit different than a lot of the frames I do because this has cable all the way from the derailleur to the shifter. So what I normally like to do is whatever length of housing you have, obviously this is a shop, so I have a box. I'll start at the back and work my way up the bike. And while I work my way up the bike, I will zip tie this to the frame. You can also do it the other way around. It doesn't really matter, but you just want to know exactly how much cable you're going to need. I like to not waste cable, so I start here and I just go to every housing stop and just zip tie it to it until I'm at the front. Make it equal length as whatever other cables you have, and then yeah, just go from there. So I'll do a time lapse of this probably. Now I'm here, and I'd really like to make this match this cable. I don't want it to grab. This one's not grabbing. Kind of looks like about right there. That's what it's going to be. I'm going to cut it a little long, put it in the shifter, check that. A little bit shorter than that. Honestly, I'm probably going to route it behind there. Yeah, seems about right. You want these cables to be flush in the front. It's just little micro adjustments to really get your bike dialed in. All right, we got it all housinged up. You just put the cable through it. It should be plenty long enough. There we go. Pop that guy in there. Now we will put it on through here. That comes up and over. Gotta get that tight. And then we're gonna do what I call stretch shifting. Without pedaling, we wanna set the ferrules that we put on the cables. So you just shift it as far as you can. It's not gonna like it. You can even help hold the cage a little bit, and that'll make the cable loose. And then you get your slack back out. And now, should eliminate a little bit of the cable stretch over time. And wow, that shifts really good. I'm not gonna lie. Kind of impressed with that. This is obviously not the shifter that's supposed to be with this derailleur, but SRAM should all work together. That's pretty cool. So once again, it's got just a little bit of hesitancy going up. So we just use our barrel adjuster to get that out. And obviously I still haven't cut the chain exactly right. I should probably do that before I get the derailleur exact. But that's good enough for now. We can trim this cable, put a little ferrule on it, and move on to the next thing. Next thing this needs, every bike needs it, pedals. I decided to spend a little bit of money just because of how nice all the rest of the parts are on here. I'd feel bad throwing just some cheapo pedals on there. So I got some Bergtech Mark IV composites. They're black, you know, replaceable pins, kind of like a dirt jump mountain bike pedal. I'll probably be riding this bike a lot, doing jibs and stuff. So I'd like a little bit of extra traction, and I think they'd look pretty good on there. These are the plastic version of what I run on my personal mountain bike. I run the metal Mark Vs. And these are basically the same thing. So I know I like those pedals, so I figured I'd give these a shot. Don't forget to grease them. Sweet. I like those. Let me go see if I can track down the rotors for this bike. If I can't, this is where we'll end it today. God, I hate these microphones so much. Well, I had a whole outro filmed, and the microphone stopped working again. So maybe, I don't know, I buy another $20 set of mics. I'll figure it out. But yeah, we're back at home. Bike is done for now. I said a whole spiel. I just wanted to give a thank you to Kyoot, to Thomson, and to everybody watching this video. You're the reason why I'm able to do this, why companies decide to support me. It's super rad that I've been given this opportunity. I'm very excited for this build to be finished, and mostly because I'm selfish and I want to ride it. We're getting kind of to the end of the good weather season here in Colorado, so I'd really like to get some time on the bike before it gets super snowy. I don't know. Like and subscribe and comment. Let me know what you like, what you don't, or otherwise. I don't really have too much else to say, but the bike's coming along great. I'm really over the technical issues, man.